Gentlemen, ladies, my name is Chaz, and welcome back to part 2 of What If Silent Was in My Hero Academia. Part 2. So where we left off, the students are trying to, convince Silence to go back to his parents because his parents, he proved to his parents enough, but he's doing pretty good without a voice. Because in part 1, go check it out, but in this part, the part 2, in that part 1, his parents had a tradition, through millennia, that if you were born as a boy in that family, you have to, your voice has to be taken away, and then, or until you prove to your parents that you're more capable thing. So, yeah. When you're just a toddler. Yeah. So, yeah. It kind of, reason why I wanted to make this, What If, is because after saw, the Shiraki-sen and his backstory thing, and plus, I was gonna make a Silent Hill crossover to My Hero Academia universe, both of them, fused together. But I'm like, that's too grim, even for me. Okay, I'll explain that after we finish up. Okay, so probably in the next part. So, yeah, so the Silence had. So he knows that he can, and he has to prove to his parents. But all that proving that he did, he feels like it's not enough for him. So, and plus, everyone's trying to convince him to go, oh, do that. Of course, his girlfriend decided to dump him because he chose not to. Because he feels like it's not enough. So they're just now, he has no one to rely on. He has no one to become. Or so he decided just to keep proving himself. He also has to prove to himself that of course, everyone doesn't know then he feels like it's not enough for anyone. And so, what does he do? he he's still, or like, of course, class 1B students are like, why are you always in, you're not going to there? As he wrote on the floor, I feel like it's not enough for my parents' sacrifice. Okay? And that's what I feel like. As he says, as he focuses more on, or actually the class 1, or no, actually UA, and Principal Nezer tells him the, until he goes to see his parents, he won't be allowed back into the school. Oh. So he gets packed for his. So he leaves. So 20 years later, or no, 20 weeks later, he does his like, because without him, the villains are like, yay, now we can breathe again, kind. Mm. So, because he actually went to Iceland and like the Arctic, as he trained his body to handle cold, and he, yeah, and he doesn't turn into a popsicle, as he like walks around without a shirt on, as his body structure, like his real big body, honey, he can't control his own, because he wants to, as he took out the tracker that they placed into his body, honey, out of his body, yeah, to be left alone. So, yeah, the, the so everyone kind of felt bad about the, how Zuko, or how Silence was. Everyone thought he was scary. Like, so then 5 days, or 5 more weeks, in, when he was training the Arctic, or 5 months basically, he trained hard. He trained super hard. Like, he trained so hard that even he wants to earn. Because, yeah, it is sad, I know. Sorry. Just try to keep my supposer. Because Zuko, or Silence was been broken hearted for actually 5 years. He's now 20 years old. He had no birthday party, or no birthday, or he doesn't remember if he had a birthday or not. He'd been training so hard that even his body, he feels like he proved himself, or he proved to himself that he but they won't allow him to go back. So he starts training harder and harder. At this point, his body went from being like this to being, where is it? To being like what All Might is. Yeah. And plus he knew, or like at night when he went to bed, he knew that the Rinko is probably dating someone else. But oh, he was wrong. Or actually, he was right about her dating someone else. Because yeah. Plus, it's been 5 years. Since he went to the Arctic, and it's been like one day, and like he got kicked out of UA. He doesn't even get a pro hero's license, so he's not a pro hero. He became known as he picks himself up. So basically, yeah, the Zuko, or actually Silence, he trained so hard that even, yeah, but he still can't get over the thought of it. So it was finally time for him to return. So he goes back home. As the his parents were waiting for a signal. Oh, that he's coming back. So then, so they still hold on hope for him. Until one day, after they were got super tired, Aaron, from being out training students, they were super tired out. They can't even open their eyes all the way until, or this really buffed up dude was standing right in front of them. His hair looks like Todoroki, but with purple on the opposite side. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you. Where I'm talking about. I need to find a good picture of it. So, let me. No, I think. So, yeah. When you're. Okay, found it. So, it basically. You know how, Todoroki's his hairstyle? Oh, but it's reversed. Red's on this side, white's on this side. Well, red would be, on this side, but it would be purple instead of red. And, yeah. So, basically, Zuko, or actually through that hard training that he went through, his body was completely so he scared his mom half to death, or his parents half to death, when he showed up. What the heck? Who's this strange fella? Wow. You really didn't recognize me? Or actually, he tilts his head sideways. And when they saw the purple side, purple hair, then they realized it's their son. So then their eyes widened as they could not believe that their son had evolved into a buffed up guy that can survive anything. And he looks at him and he says, "Yep, I have returned." Or actually, he says, or no, he was basically so his parents hugged him and he decided, "Are you here to get your voice back?" As he looks at them, tilts his head, and and like, "Yeah, you've proven to us way more." or last couple years. And so here we go. As they put the speaking back into his body, as Zuko, or as Silence used his first words were, "I'm back." And before her, of course, he says this before the, or during that All for One versus me. Is it true that you chose my sister over me? Yes, and it, because he thought our daughter or your sister was the powerfulest one. Guess we were wrong. Okay. So yeah. So basically, so now he did evolve. So yeah, he basically his own parents are glad that he's back, and they even called Nezu after and told him, and he's allowed back into the school. But the he chose us to not go back. Because, hey, because the reason why he is because I already scared them too much. So yeah, so it would be better for me to just go towards the Arctic. Hey, 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 so that I can't scare anyone else. So then Todoroki, or no, so he gets, when they saw, or actually when they go to there, every girl, I mean it, every girl, everyone was like, or all those girls saw how beautiful he is. And like how adorable he is, and like, yeah, all like 20 yards. And he went from being a creepy guy, or no, creepy kid, to being a him guy aim as except for his sister, that his sister knows who he is. His, when Nezu says, or like, went into like his how do you feel about joining back to UA? Well, the ice, or the Arctic seems better for me. There, I won't be scary. Yeah, because that's how I felt without like a voice and going invisible and all that stuff. Um, oh, oh, oh. So, yeah. So I just wanted to stop by and see all of you before I went back to Iceland. Or back to the Arctic. Iceland, Arctic. Yeah, one of those two. Huh. Yeah. Um, so, so Renko asks, so who's that big buff guy? Oh, you already knew him. Don't you remember that creepy guy that you hanged around with? Or that you used to date him, but then the you, rest of us chose to not be like his friends, or you chose not to be his girlfriend anymore? As she could not believe it's the one that she dumped. Um, that she loved so much. Then, yeah, because of some people who were like, okay. So Rinko decides he's going back alone. He's just visiting to doing some training. So, yeah. Okay. So he opens a portal. Oh, or actually he's about to, or after he leaves the UA, those students are like, Rinko try to stop him, but he kept going. Mm-hmm. As the the as she starts to tear up, like tears came down her face. And she could not believe that he didn't even, or he changed so much. And, and, and as she starts to tear up, um, as she went into like one of the bedrooms, like into her room, and she could not believe that the it was a dumb mistake for her to just leave him, like dump him. Um, so yeah, but his sister er, walks in, and she, of course, Rinko respects her, er, because, as she says, "What did I do wrong?" my after er, we were trying to convince him to go back to his parents, then he ends up going to Iceland for 5 years. And plus, then he's back at with his. Now he is back, and he gained his voice, and now he left again. He didn't even say hi to me or like anything like that. And she's blaming herself for. As she decides, or she knows that it wasn't Rinko's fault because she wasn't the one that did it. They all pushed him over the edge. So then then Rinko wanted to just straight up, because she wants to like set things right to him, because she actually didn't like date anybody. I'm changing it to, after she dumped him, she didn't like date anyone else. So yeah, he's so he goes to Iceland and or Arctic as he trains his body every single day, as he now has a voice. He starts using it. He trains himself how to speak a language, and he also trained himself to use the language. His goes invisible and sound wave thing, yeah. So, and plus he also, he scares anyone. Like, he looks around, he feels like he's at home. But at night, he keeps thinking about Rinko, like how she always, to his eyes, how beautiful she is. And she wasn't never scared of him. As he wakes up. So then the Arctic, or he still is in the Arctic, so he says to himself that through those years that I was without my voice, that silver-haired girl was always been there. Treated me like a person, not a freak. Or as he looks at his hand, and as so let's do a time skip. So the All Might and like Endeavor and yeah, decided to go see him after 2 weeks, or after 2 weeks, or 2 months. So yeah. So then but Rinko decided, and or she asked All Might if it's okay with him to let her join along. Yeah. So All Might says, sure. Okay, just okay. Yeah. So the villain, or because the he got his voice back, he still trains his body. As they see, or they walked around, they see he's still training harder and harder. Like, he's using his voice more and more. He feels a lot better. I don't know. As he walks away, or he trains, and inside of his own head, and as he uses yeah. So basically, he used his own power, or actually, the Silence used his own powers. Ours. Ours. So yeah, Rinko finally walked up to him as he's completely ignoring her, because as he still ignores them as he trains it harder and harder. Harder. As All Might was they could not believe that he's still same old, same old. Um, until the flickering of the yellow hair instead of the white snow. Hey, All Might. I didn't see you come. Sorry. Sorry about that. As he's ignoring Endeavor and Rinko at the same time. So he visits with All Might. Hey. So where's the rest of the group? Well, the students Class 1A and 1B want you back. Huh. Hmm. With that girly girl. Oh, oh, the my sister one. Yeah, she wants you back to UA. And, hmm, why would I do that? Be- because I'm more happy here. The those you know how like they every single one of them I could tell when I didn't have my voice thing. I could tell that they were scared of me. Um, they were afraid of me. Um, except for you, Rinko. As he knew she was there, you were always there for me. But now, oh, mm. So he ends up as he still was in love with her, or as she got so surprised about it. She could not believe that he was still hanging on for all those years. And he ended up decided and to date her. So, yeah. So he goes to back to UA and he still is dating now, got restarted the dating thing. So now it was because they dated so long, they actually it was time for them to get married. Herring. So, yeah. So they got married. Herring. And usually I put in like some random like sick joke thing. But the I might be banned. Plus it's in my like dirty thoughts ones or dirty what if I do not want to share. Because Rinko did the deed to silence Owens, and because he had like silence the court thing, she actually when they were 14 years old, they she did the that deed to him earlier before. So then yeah, then now 15 or no, now they're in their 20s. And yeah, because 5 years he been in the Arctic for 5 years without a shirt on. He still had pants and underwear. He, yeah, he trained his body to handle zero temperatures. Yeah, so, yeah. And then after they got married and then they did the deed again. They ended up having 3 children. Or no, actually, not 3. 18 kids. Because when they were 14, they had 6 kids. Or she had 6 kids. 3 girls, 3 boys. And then after they got married, they did the deed again. And it was 12. Yeah, 12. All kids named 6 girls, 6 boys. And yeah, totaled it up to about like 3 plus 6 equals like 9. 9 boys and 9 girls. So yeah. So yeah. So they had a lot to go through. And yeah. So now I did skip over during the one of the 5 years overhaul arc was completely skipped. So did a dodgeball thing. And now, because he didn't like really skip the any school days, it was he got kicked out of school. So yeah, because of not proving to or he didn't go to his parents' thing. So yeah. So he didn't miss anything, actually. So he became the number or first person to become a pro hero. Or yeah, that got trained in the ice, like Arctic, and he also got trained to be like the best person in the world. He trained harder than any normal human. If All Might didn't have his wound on his side, he would have probably been in his prime. Then he would still be outclassed by silence. Because and yeah. And then his sister, the Silence's sister, when she ends up married to Todoroki's, and no, I am not gonna do something really stupid of her marrying the poor little Aries, because whoever is making those like runs on, like, I'm not going to say the name of it or say the thing. Cornhub. That's what I'll just say. Cornhub. Or on, like, Google stuff. They quit making, like, drawings of her sleeping with the guy, and they both, like, did that deed. So, yeah. So, in the last part, like, of, I think it was this one or the other one, I think it was the one that was before. So the reason why I created this what if, or actually I remember, but please wait for part 3. Or no, actually not part 3. This is gonna be the final what if. So please leave a like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the explaining things. So